in a cage, hungry hearts in a rage, glowing eyes in a daze, turning around in a hurry, hoping you will come along. I'm running as fast as I can, in a desperate need of a plan. It's the work of one little man. I'm fading out from the story. Am I a passionate man?
Doing a little morning journaling, coffee, got some yogurt and granola for breakfast. Love having my stove to be able to make my coffee. I'm also able to make meals. Considering getting a refrigerator, I've seen so many other guys who have lived with an ice chest for years, and I was kind of doing the math the other day, and in a year I will have spent as much as half or more for a refrigerator with absolutely nothing to show for it. So I'm in the market.
It would definitely be pretty foolish of me to not consider coming back here during the summer. There's a lot of great places like that you can come drop into and swim. A little cold right now, but man, looked nice, didn't it?
As I was traveling through West Texas, there was a site at which I didn't get a chance to stop in New Mexico that I wasn't going to miss this time, and that's the grave site of Billy the Kid. His real name is Henry McCarty, but he's better known by his alias William Billy the Kid Bonney. His family moved to New Mexico Territory in 1873, and he was charged with numerous thefts and involved in 9 murders during his brief life. At age 19, he was sentenced to death for the murder of Sheriff William Brady. On April 21, 1881, he escaped from the Lincoln County Jail, killing 2 deputies. He fled to Fort Sumner. Bonney was shot and killed by Sheriff Pat Garrett at Peter Maxwell's house on July 14, 1881. For those that remember seeing the movie Young Guns, Emilio Estevez played the part of Billy the Kid, and there was a man by the name of Joe Texas Red Grant, and he was bragging in a saloon about how he was going to kill a man. Billy the Kid feigned excitement about it and said he'd like to see the gun that is going to be used, and he took the gun, and when the man wasn't paying attention, he rotated the cylinder to an empty chamber, anticipating trouble, and he was right, because later Grant tried to shoot Billy in the back. All Billy heard was a click. He turned and fired 3 shots, killing Grant instantly. That man is buried in the same cemetery that Billy the Kid is, and his only respite is the fact that Billy the Kid's gravestone is shackled at his feet, and that he is in irons, as you can see from the picture. So this drive is absolutely completely unplanned. I was in Albuquerque, New Mexico for about an hour and a half, and I'd planned on being at a campsite, BLM location, northwest of Albuquerque relatively quickly. So I searched frantically just to verify that I had a good spot to stay, and I found this spot called Angel Peak. It's BLM or not BLM, it's state land, but it is free. And so I took the chance, made a right, headed down the road, and I saw several spots that would be perfect to stay. I know that they were actually day use. They are just not campsites, but picnic sites that would be available for the day. And to be honest with you, I doubt that the area is so policed that it wouldn't be an opportunity if, for instance, the campsites were full. And the only reason I say that is because as I was going in, I was perseverating on the fact that there would be campsites that just wouldn't be available. And if I needed to, I would have to swing back and either stay at one of these picnic areas or even go back to the highway and find a BLM land that I had passed previously. And I did see several along the way, so I wasn't that concerned about that. Just wanted to make sure that I was on the right track. So I was able to find this location that is part of the southern side of the San Juan Mountains, which is south of where I was when I was in Alamosa. Campsite with a restroom real close by. I mean, as you can see, cars parked right there, and then it's just a little slide uphill to a covered pavilion. But when you actually see the view, and there's a couple of paths that you can take to get up there, but you got a burn pit, got a little covered pavilion, table. Check this out. I'm not even going to talk. As I traveled in, it was about 9 miles, and it wasn't a great road, but it was definitely something that just about any vehicle would be able to traverse. There was no four-wheel drive requirement. It was washboard, so it was slow going. I think it took me about an hour to get in, but once I made it in, I found several campsites that were available. So I continued around just to check the area and found what I would consider to be relatively perfect. I mean, it had a campsite fairly close by, but which almost made it a group site. But there was a run up from the campsite that I chose that went out to the ridge line, and you could see from the precipice the entire canyon, including Angel Peak. Couldn't be beat. Absolutely beautiful. I wanted to do a quick walk on this path located at this campsite. Angel Peak, which I might be able to see. I skip the path and walk straight to the top. It's right there. Pretty cool, huh? Free campsite, New Mexico. Sold. Another thing that I thought that was really cool was that I met another YouTuber In fact, he did end up showing up at that campsite right next to me, and it was just after sunset, so he didn't impose himself that night. But the next morning, he wandered over and shouted out, "Hey neighbor," and we had a conversation. A YouTuber that just, I don't know, really kind of a personable guy. Enjoyed conversation with him, and look forward to keeping in contact. But anyway, so I got my stuff together and headed out. And whether you call it luck or whatever you call it, I call it providentialism. It was the site to be for that day, and well, for those 2 days, and it was absolutely gorgeous, and it really kind of put a taste in my mouth for the opportunities that I have available to me from here moving forward, considering that was one of my earliest experiences, and the experiences that I had, if you're following my channel, from when I went up from Texas to Washington and back over that 10-day period.
Jumping from cliffs so high, trusting our wings to fly. Sometimes we're crashing down, but we get up and start from the ground. And I really wanna know if I will ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high. Even if the sky is falling down, even if the sky is falling down, yeah. The sky is falling down.
All the best, always.
Wanna come down to the underground old school? Here's a shovel, can you dig it, fool?